Hey guys, so for my third game journal, I'm going to be playing Papers, Please. So without further ado, glory to our Stotska, and here we go. So first of all, what is Papers, Please? In Papers, Please, you play the role of a specific citizen that lives in the amazing, glorious, and ever so great nation of Arstotzka. Every month, they draw a lottery ticket to see who's going to be the selected individual who is going to be able to partake in a government mandated position. So you're going to be a border agent, and that entails in you have to meet the people who want to come into Arstotzka in the booth, and they give you the various documents they're supposed to give you, and you can either tell them, yep, you're good to enter, everything's right, or nope, sorry, can't let you in. And even as simple as the summary makes Papers, Please sound, it's way much more than that. In Papers, Please, there's just so much going on in the background of the story, depending on what decisions the player takes. So basically, every day you get a limited amount of how many people you can serve, but if you do so in a timely manner, you can get through all of them, all the ones that the game says that you can. Or if you take a little too long checking the documents, just a little too carefully and stuff like that, even if you would expect that to be good for your job, it's not always the best decision. Just depending on what the situation is going on at home, or if you need more money or whatnot, because you do get paid per person that you help. You don't get paid like a salary per day. Um, so basically, after each day, after the situation changes, depending on the government, on certain events around the world, you have the decision after they hand you the required documents for that day. Some days they require more documents, sometimes the document that they had yesterday is no longer valid, and you always have to make sure you know how you're supposed to check for situations. Um, so after you tell them yes or no, they go. Sometimes people can come with good intentions for this great nation, or they can come in just wanting to make a scene and attack this glorious nation. If you do get a penalty whenever you accidentally let someone through that's not supposed to be going through. So let's say that their ticket that they need to enter has expired already, and you tell them, "Yep, you're good to go. Everything looks all right." As soon as they pass a little certain line behind your booth, the government will issue you a ticket. Whenever you get to 3, you get a penalty of reducing payment for the day. And those tickets also add up. You won't see it right now, but they will add up later for the story. If you get X amount, whenever the government comes and checks on you, how you're doing, how much you're taking care of Arstotzka, if they just see you get too many violations, even if you don't get to the third one where they actually duck your pay, they will get mad at you because they're gonna see you like a traitor, that you're not caring for this glorious nation as much as they do. But in overall, this game has so much going on in the background. Each and every decision that you make will affect the consequences and the endings that you can get. You could sometimes, my first playthrough of this game, I think I didn't even get to day 8 or 5, I don't remember which one it was. And basically, the government official came, checked by. I had like 20 something violations, and he just said, "Well, buddy, not good enough. Let's go." He takes me from my home, from my family, never to be seen again. There's some people who are really good at this game who just have that skill that they can multitask beyond what I can sometimes. And they've gone to day X amount, maybe 30 or so. But some of us can't. And then at the end of the day, whenever you do get the payment of the day, you do have to decide, hey, I'm gonna leave for I have to buy food and have to pay the heating bill. Am I gonna do this tonight? Do I really need it? Are we okay for today? Can we survive? Does anyone need medications or whatever the situation is going on? Because this situation at home can always change, and this situation at home can affect your decision the next day. Even if you don't see eye to eye with the government, but your son's sick or your uncle's sick or your aunt's dying or whatever the situation may be, you sometimes just need that money. You cannot spare a single person, and you're just gonna have to deny entry. Throughout the game, there's also some citizens that will come to you, or not some citizens, some people that go to the booth, they will come to you. For example, there was one where the man comes up to you, everything checks out, he's good to go, and then he tells you, hey, please take care of my wife. She's right behind me in line. As she comes up to you, you see she only has the passport and nothing else. She doesn't have the required document that we need for this day. And you could just tell she's desperate. She really wants to be with her husband, and you can't technically let her in part of as per your job. But this game makes you question your morals, saying, "Am I really gonna stop this family from being together because the government told me to? Because it's just the way things are right now. Am I gonna separate them for life? Who knows when they're gonna see each other?" And she says, "Hey, if I can't go back. If I go back, they're gonna kill me." So you just have to decide on what action you want to take. You're gonna take a dock and pay and let her in, and possibly, who knows if their intentions are pure or not, but that's something you have to decide for yourself as a player. If you let them in, maybe later on in the game they'll thank you with some kind of reward along the storyline, or maybe it'll cause more harm than it did good, but that's something you have to find out for yourself. And secondly, to talk about what game element I think the devs did an amazing job on, something that I really like, and something that made me keep playing this game over and over, maybe a couple run throughs, even if they didn't last that long because my skills are not on par as the greatest on this game, is the amount of background and just story that every character carries with them. Sure, at the beginning you don't see it. You just see, oh, hey, Joe, he's just trying to travel to visit his friends. Okay. But maybe later on, Joe comes back and needs to travel again. As you require more information from each person, you'll learn more about them. Like, maybe at first they just need a ticket. You don't really need to know the reason for going or anything. But as soon as they start explaining what their reasoning is, why they're going, sometimes if something's not right and you ask them, um, then they start revealing more, just saying, oh, sorry, no, I lied because of X, Y, and Z. I lied because I need to see my son. I haven't seen him in years. This is the only way I can see him again. Or there's certain characters that basically, there there are some that come up to you later on and tell you, hey, this man offered me work, but I really don't think he is a good person. Please don't let him through. This is his name. And this just connects the player more to the character they're playing in the game. Really questioning, hey, am I going to stand by what my personal morals and beliefs are? Or do I want to go with what my job is in the game? Do I really want to feel human for this other human who's going through something that I can understand or not? And it's something you have to really just debate on yourself. And it's something that really motivates me to keep on playing it because there's just so much. And then sometimes if you let a certain person in or you don't let a certain person in, it changes the story later on. It just changes the characters you deal with. Later on in the game, there's going to be this Illuminati-looking organization that you are presented with. You can choose to help them, and they tell you, "Hey, we're gonna help you. We're here to help. Just help us." And you have to decide: am I gonna do this? What if someone catches me? What if something goes wrong? What if these people are just no good? And that's something you have to decide for yourself. But just the amount of NPCs that you deal with, everyone with their own backstory and everything going on, it just makes this game so replayable, and I absolutely love the way they did this. And something I would change about this game element that the devs had is maybe not the list of NPCs, because they have an amazing list, an amazing background on each. maybe not that, but just the order in that they come. Because on the second day, you know, X person will come after the fourth person. Or on the eighth day, if you made this decision and this happened, this person will come. As much as I love that, and I know that's part of the game, why the game is like this, I do love that. But I feel like if we were a little bit more flexible of when they come, maybe they can influence the player even more. Maybe the decisions that we make could be even more influenced because you're lacking information that you're supposed to. Maybe some other person tells you that information and you're in between, I don't know if he's bad or good because you haven't gotten this information yet. Or you teeter more to one because you haven't heard the other side of the story or something like that. And I feel like it could just give more possibilities to what this game could offer in terms of the outcomes. So the tree would just be even more massive than it already is. That's something I would love to see maybe modified from what I said a little bit more, but I just feel it's a feature that could complement this game so perfectly. And the feelings that this game makes you have are just wow. They're all over the place at times because sometimes you're just helping out Bob cross the border, making sure his documents are okay. And in the back, you start hearing the alarms going off. Some dude's going by with a motorcycle as fast as he can, trying to explode on the military of Artsakh to cause damage to this country. And I have to pull out the gun as fast as I can to get him down. Um, it just makes you feel tense at times. It As the story goes on and you get more paperwork that you have to make sure are all right, you get just that level of concentration that you're just thinking, okay, everything has to be right. I don't want to get docked pay because my son's sick, and you just start getting worried about the government. You start having a little bit of fear in a certain way that you're gonna get punished if everything doesn't go correctly, stuff like that. And this game just does an amazing job at connecting to the player emotions, making them want to play this game again, seeing what other options they could have made, what decisions they could have made differently, how they can improve upon the way that they played just to go smoother, faster, and getting more money, getting paid more, maybe being on a better foot with the government, or maybe being on a worse foot because you just hate this government and you want to see it go down or whatever your decision is. And I don't think another game could fit in even more perfectly to the topic that we've been talking about in class recently, which is ethics gameplay. Basically, in this game, it just ties in so perfectly because every decision that you make in this game has consequences. This will later on, even if you don't see it right away, it will just basically it'll change the outcome tree and the decision tree you're gonna have later on in the game. Maybe you're not gonna be able to reach that decision that you want to reach later on with this person because you didn't help out this other person before, or you let this person in and it terrorized the country. So other people are gonna get punished for your actions, or maybe because later on they let you work a little bit more with the military and tell you, hey, for every person we detain, I'll get a couple bucks. I'll lend you some too. It it also makes you really question your ethics. You don't know what's gonna happen to these people. If you turn them away, you just deny the access. They can at least go back to where they came from. But if you detain them with the military, we don't know if they're going to concentration camp, if they're getting killed, or what's going on. So you have to really weigh what your moral is, how you want to present your character to the world, and also whenever someone goes past the border forcefully, and you can kill them with a gun, or you can let them reach what they're wanting to reach and explode, kill more people. That just depends on your morals and your ethics of how you see Artsakh. Maybe you're really opposed to this government. Maybe you really just want to see it go down in flames. You want to see everything crumble. You want to see, the ideals of these people, this nation that's attacking, be what Artsakh is. So you don't pull the trigger. You let them kill these people. This will greatly affect the decision, the outcomes of what's gonna happen later on. But maybe you decide, no, glory for Artsakh. We're gonna save these people, or maybe not because of that. Maybe you just don't want people to die because of just someone's ideals, and you decide to pull the trigger still and save other people from dying needless deaths. So I feel like this chapter of the book ties in so many ways to this game, because this game is basically about ethics and morals, even including the screen at the end of the game that I was talking, or not the screen at the end of the game, the screen at the end of the day that I was talking about. How you have to decide, okay, I know it's in my morals, I have to feed my family, I have to provide for everyone and make sure everyone's okay, but sometimes you can't, or you have to save money because you want the suite upgrade for your booth, or you want to move to another apartment location or something, and you can't fulfill everything that you want and everything that your beliefs and your ethics, your morals stand for. So you have to really weigh and really look at yourself in a more deeper way, thinking, what do I really believe in? What are my priorities? And really just kind of weigh that in. And I feel like this game does a fabulous job at making you question yourself and making you see in another light how you really are, how the player is that's playing the game really is. So I feel like it just ties in fantastically to how this game is. And that's all for my third game journal. Thank you all so much for watching. Hope everyone's staying safe, and I guess we'll catch you on the fourth one.